We're not talking about dead people. We're talking about, I wanted to basically ask all each individual groups and kind of have a discussion to see what kind of problems you ran into and how did you solve them. So to kind of start off, just to kind of kickstart off, for me, the problem I ran into is that I was using a framework called Twitter Bootstrap that I'd never used before. That wasn't a good idea. So I was kind of just trying to learn it as I was building, which I never advised. That was a bad idea. So, that's the stuff that I learned from the situation, not to do that. So like for you guys, who were doing I love how you guys did research. You guys did some crazy spammy research. That is so awesome. And you actually got users to use your product. That's an amazing thing. But I'm really curious to hear, since you guys didn't really actually have any programmers, what was kind of the dynamics in your group? How did you get through the process?
We just kind of threw ideas out there and all just kind of at the same time going, beta would be on different sites and then on Twitter and on different people are just doing different things. Whatever came to mind, we're all going after, taking pictures and trying to come up with things. I don't know, we had a formal process per se.
I think we're more looking at how do we make it so that somebody can just use it or feel the experience. Mm-hmm. We didn't really give a crap about code, just have the experience.
Awesome. So and because you were so wanting to focus on the experience, that's why you guys just went on to Twitter, went to Facebook, Craigslist, to really just get the feedback.
Put photos and stuff up.
So our friends wouldn't help us.
So besides from getting banned, which is awesome, just so great.
Twice.
So what were your strategies for doing that? For trying to pitch your idea to your friends and whatnot? How did you guys approach that? Exactly. It's just say, here it is, or?
I don't think we had a really good hypothesis around who the customer was for this particular spin. So we were just kind of shotgunning it just to see what would happen. But talking amongst ourselves and what we go on next is where do people run into this problem and how do we approach that group and that type of stuff. But
on Twitter, research for fit in the car and things like that.
Right. So if they're coming to IKEA, Home Depot, a garage sale, that type of thing.
What did you guys learn from that? Based off of the feedback, what kind of things did you guys learn? Anything interesting from it?
If we don't talk to the right customer, nothing happens.
And on Saturday night, people are not trying to fit weird objects in the
Cool. So how about for you guys? I was right there as you guys were just kind of going at it. It seemed like you guys were working really well together. Were there any type of hurdles or things you guys had to overcome to make it work? Because
we had some pain in that room. Yeah.
Is that what you?
Outside in the beginning. We had to overcome that.
We laughed a lot.
We moved into this part of the building. But we got good work done in there. We run out of time, just like every other project, pretty much. But that's just kind of how it goes. But other than that, I think I was really lucky to find this team and for everybody to be feeling confident in their own roles, and they were amazing. So really, we didn't really have any troubles.
Well, speaking of roles.
So no beer. I will mention no beer during the hackathon was an issue.
Well, speaking of the roles, you guys, you had the PowerPoint presentation. You guys had the actual app working and running. So did you guys? How did you decide on who would be the leader, who would do what? What was your approach to that?
Since I pitched the idea, I just didn't ask, and I just assumed that they were okay with that. To be totally honest with you.
I think we were lucky because our skill set was, these two guys, they were coding, so that was done. And then Joy was just amazing, and she's very graphic design oriented. And then Marilyn and I know each other, and we've talked about the problem before. We've never talked about developing a mobile web app, so this was totally a new kind of thing. So we're going back and forth. Oh, what about this? Wireframing. And Joy was listening in, and she said that it really, informed the way she went about designing the icons. Because she's able to hear Marilyn, talk about her vision, and it really affected the way she made things happen with her art, to kind of communicate the message. So it was really kind of neat.
There wasn't a lot of leading that needed to be done, so
it seemed like
definitely time management. I probably could have blocked that out better, but we came together and discussed where we were and modified based on where we were at certain points.
So it seems like you guys just gelled really well together. Just kind of flowed, yeah.
That's a good one. did.
Yeah. I really wish you guys would have stayed in there. I would have loved to see what would have came out of that. Yeah. Cool. Did you guys learn anything specific about out of the whole project? Like anything? Did you guys learn anything new, each of you, or yeah?
I learned that I do not want to use the newest version of Eclipse.
That's yeah.
An hour battling with that.
Yeah.
The older version.
I feel your pain on that one. Not a good idea.
I learned I need to start thinking about non-relational.
Oh. Are you okay?
First, are you okay? Second?
Great. So, what were you saying?
I learned a lot listening to these two guys. I'll speak for Joy. Because Joy, who's not here, she was really, it was cool watching her do her thing. She worked all day long. But she's never done graphic design for the web. So she, Thomas, you kind of directed her towards, templates and things. We found when we Googled for the Android, developers stuff, we found templates. And she, tried and retried resizing icons and things to make it fit the dimensions and specs for the platform, and it was really neat to kind of see that light bulb go off for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. It's a different beast developing or designing that way. So I know, so she learned.
Awesome. So how worked you guys, for doing the law thing? I mean, how did that turn out? Because it was doing a lot more with the data and stuff like that. So, I mean, how did the project turn out?
Eric, do you want to do this, or what's the post-mortem? Post-mortem? You said yes, but.
Yes. I think that our project is big. It's like we need to kind of do something. We need to define the scope up front for what we want to have at the end of the day. And we would have done some of that, like big picture, blue sky thinking up front. Okay, we have this grand idea, but we only got 6 hours to do it. So, what is really the objective that we're trying to get at the end of the day? And I think if we would have spent more time talking about what the objective is at the end of the day. I mean, not even more time, like 15 minutes or 30 minutes talking about that. At some point within the first hour, it would have helped us. You set your objective and then you work towards it. I think what happens is we spend a lot of the time kind of working on different things and veering off in different ways, but not really having items to finish. We were just kind of like meandering around. The final product that George put together, I think, did an awesome job of selling all of this idea exploration that we did. I was really impressed by that. But I would have liked to set some scope to the project and achieve that scope. And what we ended up doing was winging it and did a good job. That's my thoughts at least. Yeah, maybe you guys.
Yeah, I guess what we ended up doing mostly was sort of talking about exploring, educating, getting people on this, kind of to explore the implications of this. And we tried to do a bit of coding, but we weren't successful on that. And so then we just flipped it around and used the actual the prototype application in order to code some documents, which then we were able to turn into a demonstration with all the screen captures, which I think turned out very, very well. Most of that work, there was a lot of message focusing, and then just a real quick, let's throw together a document application and document the process of putting the document.
Yeah, I think it's funny that you said just you wish you could have spent only like 15 minutes. Because that's exactly what I said. I said like spend only about 15 minutes on the initial idea and then just kind of focus on executing and iterating from that point on. But I kind of speeded through the slides. But yeah, definitely. I mean, next time, maybe I'll make sure that we do like kind of maybe a primer in the beginning. I mean, obviously some of you guys did just fine, but just for all the new people who who have never done this thing before, it's seeming like that maybe we should have kind of like a quick tutorial on how to do team management and how to interact with people and how to stay away from feature creep and all that kind of stuff, and stay focused and that kind of thing.
What was that feature?
It's called feature creep.
Feature creep?
Yeah, feature creep.
Creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that tends to happen a lot because go back to my game jams. People when they build the games, I've seen it happen where there was a team of all these super smart people, right? And the only thing they would focus on is they would just spend the entire 6 hours talking about how awesome the game was going to be. They would just like, I mean, in fact, when they presented, they had like a ginormous piece of paper with like all these like design, like all these like just maps and artwork, and had tons and tons of pages of just all this amazing design work. And then I said, all right, guys, that's fantastic, but where's the game? And they said, well, we just kept going in a circle, and we just kept spitting out more and more ideas, and it just kept sounding more and more cool, so we just kind of kept going with it. So, I mean, the design turned out freaking amazing. I mean, it probably take like 4 years to make, but, so I think, yeah, maybe we should kind of just break it down a bit so everyone kind of understands that when you think of an idea, that you should just focus on what's called just, the core idea or the core mechanic, the thing that's going to keep everyone coming back to it over and over again, and just forget about everything else. And just literally just work on that for the entire period, and then just keep iterating on that one idea until you finally get the actual product or prototype. So yeah, so next time I'll make sure that we kind of go over that a bit more, because I blazed through all the slides so freaking fast, and I'm kind of hearing all these things repeated that I was saying in the slides, but I was talking so fast. But what are you gonna do? So but once again, amazing job. I mean, George, the way you laid how it was all laid out, it looked fantastic. It almost seemed like everything went beautifully. So that's good. So now I'm really curious about you guys with the controlling and the electronic stuff. I mean, did you guys encounter any problems at all with that stuff, or?
Well, there wasn't any problems with this, but it did have a few bugs in the game.
So with bugs, I mean, like for anything from a design aspect, or just like things would scratch that you just kind of had to work out?
Just like, being able to walk through walls.
It's collision, that kind of stuff.
Logic errors.
How did you approach the design of the game?
We storyboarded it on the whiteboard.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so
okay.
we did a pretty good job of that. So, and we created a list of what features you would implement first, and then so like the basics down to like the excess, right? So you want to make sure to get the stuff that was the core first, and then if you have time, layer on. And this is a perfect example of someone not using a tool that's new to them. That's one of the keys, I think, to a hackathon.
Oh, yeah.
Using stuff that you know well.
Exactly.
And he's been doing this scratch for years, and I've never seen anyone click and drag and create art as fast as he does. So he knows it like the back of his hand. And then we also had a QA process, and she was QA, so he'd create a version with his Dropbox to share it to the other computer, and she would QA it and write bugs on the board while he was developing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. But I mean, I did notice that too. I mean, that's fantastic that you said you guys kind of storyboarded out everything. I mean, that right there prevents feature creep, right? Because then you're focusing exactly on what needs to be done at the time and just kind of going from there. I also noticed you guys were doing that as well. Did that help you guys a lot when you guys were writing down, drawing out everything?
Yeah, and we had one that was like, this would be great for later, but this is what we're working on today. We had to keep going back to today because it was
Icebox.
Is that the great to hear that.
Icebox, parking lot is another good one.
So the idea is you don't have time for you.
Have you did you guys start doing that right at the beginning, or?
Yes.
And you guys kind of just, that basically dictated what was going to happen next. Cool.
And we were getting lofty. I mean, we start talking and oh my gosh, location, based stuff, and obviously great bells and whistles, but by taking a pen and writing them down on the icebox list, you feel like you're not losing that idea, and you're okay with kind of tabling it and then going back to that task at hand.
Interesting. Did you guys use user stories, like kind of base all your features around the idea of how, if someone was actually using it, this is how we should approach it, like for